Hello everyone, and welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm your host, Morticia, and today we'll be following some gameplay moments from Thor and Loki's childhood. I've used the Master Controller mod to switch the rest of my town from stasis to a custom rotational gameplay cast. See the description for a link on how to do this, so that they can run around pretending to have free will, but they won't really progress or change. I like that idea on Asgard that it's pretty much unchanging. I've loaded an older version of the royal family from my game library, which then needed some editing to update Odin and Frigga's outfits. I've de-aged Sif, Hogun, and Fandral back to children so that Thor and Loki have some friends their own age. And I'm planning to keep the results of this playthrough as my main save game going forward. I'm going to start with Thor and Loki as toddlers, but they're already potty trained and know how to walk and talk. I personally find that stage of Sims having kids pretty boring, and I usually cheat my way through it. So we're only going to spend a little while with them as toddlers, and then we'll get to see their birthdays in this video. Now, I'll admit here, I tend to spend most of my Sims time building rather than actually playing, but I'll do my best here. I tried to hire a butler, but it turns out the butlers in this game are completely useless. He won't cook unless ordered to, only cooks one meal at a time rather than enough for the whole family, and he tried to rearrange my beautifully organized library, so no butler. There are some mods for live-in maids or cooks, but I was dubious of throwing them into my game without testing them first. So I had a choice between clogging up my family with a few servants or making the Queen of Asgard cook. I picked the servants. So here we have the servants' quarters, our live-in maid Dagmar, and the royal chef Olaf. I've used Master Controller to remove their free will, so I can click them and tell them to cook or clean, but they won't mess with anything else like that stupid butler did. I've also used a mod to allow my chef to serve the food rather than calling the family to the meal and expecting everyone to help themselves. This same mod also allows me not to include the server in the meal. I gave him and the maid their own little kitchen dining area, and the link to that mod is in the description below. I'm not really sure if anyone wants to see my actual gameplay, or if you'd rather see some nicely edited cinematic clips that show the life of my Sims without all the clicking and options menus every few seconds. I'll try to get a bit of both into this video and see which feels best. And yeah, for this video I've used cheats to try and keep their motives balanced. I didn't feel like including things like diaper changes in my game, not even a little bit. Ew. This is exactly why I usually cheat past the toddler life stage. Children at least can take care of themselves relatively well if you tell them what to do in the game. It's the same reason I really like the all-in-one bathrooms from Into the Future. I don't need to see my Sims' personal hygiene routines. I'm in this game for building and creating stories, not the life simulator element. I've never figured out what to do with the imaginary friends in this game. I get that there's a way to turn them into real Sims, but since I don't want to do that here, I'm not sure what else to do with them. But since Thor and Loki each got one, I decided to name them for a couple of Norse mythology characters that, to my knowledge, don't exist in the MCU. Balder and Hodor. I guess they'll just sit on a shelf somewhere or something. I wonder if I could put them in a fridge. Of all the books she could have picked to read to him, she chose that one herself. I didn't do it. And I said I was gonna do their birthdays, but the cake won't work. I've not checked to be sure, but I think it's because I play with the aging disabled. Still don't see why I need to use cheats to force it instead of the cake. The cake feels more fitting, but if I can't have a sim activate it, nobody can eat it, which is kinda disappointing. So now all the birthday guests have arrived, I'm using Master Controller to make Thor and Loki age up to children. And naturally, because the game insists on randomly generating everything, even when I already gave the child versions of these characters outfits, I have to go into Create a Sim to fix it. So here we have Thor as a child. Sadly, I don't have many custom hairstyles, and the only decent looking long hair was more suited to Loki, so he'll just have to have a basic hairstyle until he grows up. So I've used the same Create a Sim trick on Loki's clothes, and you can see what I mean about the hair, right? In case you're wondering about Frigga apparently having fainted, I'm pretty sure Odin was just being boring, but we could assume for story purposes that she had a vision or something. She's supposed to be a powerful seer from what I've heard. Anyway, this is supposed to be a party, and the chef made Thor's favorite food. You know, I try to tell them not to bother cleaning up, They have a maid for that, but they never listen, and it's especially frustrating when one of the guests wants to be nice and helpful. I mean, in a normal household this would be lovely, but they're royalty. It's like doing your own dishes at a luxury restaurant. It's just weird somehow. I have no idea how I managed this, but I guess the party was a success. I've had Sims throw way cooler parties in my opinion and be told they were terrible by the guests, but whatever. And that's it for today. Next week, we'll continue Thor and Loki's childhood and see if we can have some actual fun around here. Pranks and magic and that sort of thing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more from me.